Today on Monkey Life, disabled chimp Chocolat flies in from Kenya and makes her presence known.
She's just shouting at people to let them know that she's here, and I get that impression, just having a bit of a shout.
Young orangutan Mimi ventures into her new outdoor enclosure for the first time. Then heads straight back in again.
She climbed up the electric fence and obviously got a bit of a shock, which she wasn't too happy with.
And playtime for Chippy's woollies as they enjoy their new home. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
So far, so good. Nice job. Really nice job.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. It's early morning at East Midlands Airport, and at the DHL cargo hub, the ground crew are preparing for a very special arrival. After a 15-hour flight starting at Nairobi Airport and including a brief stop in Bahrain, chimpanzee Chocolat has landed in the UK, ready to start her new life at Monkey World. The trip was meticulously planned. Alison applied for special permission from DEFRA to land at East Midlands rather than the usual route via Heathrow to reduce the transit time for the disabled chimp. Her health and welfare were paramount, and the route saved almost a day and a half of travel time. Chocolat has been accompanied throughout the journey by Jeremy,
Good girl.
who's spent the last week in Kenya getting to know her.
Hey. Hey. All this shouting, do you want another drink? Whoa. Another drink? You're not done bad. No. She's done very well. She does get very anxious very easily, as you can hear. So, obviously, airport's always the same. Everybody wants to see the animal, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so you spend half your life fighting people off because she gets very anxious when she sees people. Of course, it's all very new for her. And, no, she's done very well. She's done very well, but she does shout when she's upset, and she's, don't you?
Monica, Chocolat's main carer for the past 10 years in Kenya, also accompanied her throughout. Between them, Monica and Jeremy kept the chimp hydrated, fed and reassured during the entire journey.
Yeah, she eats and drinks very well. I mean, obviously she gets upset and then she doesn't eat for a while, but overall she's eaten very well, thank you very much. And, you know, I've spoiled her a bit. She bought her own food, you know, some general fruit and stuff, but she's had a couple of bread rolls, and she's had, she had a little Mars bar. But don't tell anybody. Yes, yeah, you don't have to do paperwork, do you? We'll all get shouted at. Will another paper? Not much, maybe a little.
After nearly 4,500 miles in the air, there's still another 200 to go by road before Chocolat arrives at her final destination in Dorset. Jeremy's keen to get the chimp offloaded as quickly as possible. The ground crew leap into action, and the whole process runs smoothly. Chocolat has been in her travel crate for nearly 24 hours, and she's not afraid to let everyone know.
You are a good girl. You are.
She's also gained a bit of a fan club.
She's getting used to this. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, go.
The majority of the paperwork was checked and approved pre-arrival to minimise any delay. And Chocolat is soon being loaded into Monkey World's own transport vehicle.
Watch your head, Nick. And your arm.
Yeah, she can get you.
Up, right underneath. That's it.
Knock it up.
Bit more. You lift it up.
Right. And you get your handle there.
Right, nice one. Gentle a minute.
Yeah.
Bit more.
The crate is locked in and secured, ready for the journey to Dorset.
She's safely on board, and she's got an opinion, but she's not. I think she's just shouting because it's all. I don't think she's terribly upset. Oh, she was earlier in the journey, but I think now she's getting used to this, and she's just shouting at people to let them know that she's here, and I get that impression. But she's not. I don't think she's too anxious. She's just having just having a bit of a shout.
And with Chocolat announcing her presence, the final leg of her journey, which started in the Kenyan bush and will culminate in the lush green Dorset countryside, begins. Exciting times lie ahead. As Chocolat starts the last part of her long journey to Dorset, back at the park the primate care staff are busy completing some last-minute jobs to make life for the new chimp as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, so we know she's en route now, so the pressure's really on to get everything in place. So we're just finishing our last few tweaks on the little bit of hosing that we've been putting in. And then we just got to throw in a load of bedding for her, some nice food, some nice drink, and just basically make the house as comfortable as possible. But mainly we're just kind of bored with the waiting now. Now that we know she's landed and she's on her way, we just want to get started and get the ball rolling with everything. So yeah, I'm kind of on edge at the minute.
Along with alterations to the outdoor enclosure, which involved adding new platforms and climbing aids to support Chocolat's disabilities, the team also had to reconfigure the indoor bedrooms.
We had to factor in the fact that all of our slides, or tunnels up in this house rather, are up high, and we don't know whether she could actually climb up there, and we didn't want to bring her here and then be like, oh, she can't actually escape the bedrooms at all. So we've had to very much last minute build a brand new tunnel over here, which is low down on the ground. That hopefully will give her access to the playroom and then easier access to the enclosure, although she won't be going out there anytime soon. We've had to link up all of our pre-existing platforms with solid surfaces, because that is what she knows. She's used to walking on solid ground, not on hosing. So though originally we did think that we could just make some fire hose ladders, we thought actually it's probably best just have the solid beams in so that she can move across more smoothly while she's still learning the ropes and actually starting to climb a bit more, hopefully.
The team have also had to consider how the changes will affect Brian and his small troop.
When we've had the last rescues like Nari, Kalu, Sasha, Kangu coming into this house, it didn't really mean tweaking the entire design of the house for them, because physically they were very able, but you've got to try and find a nice balance there of we don't want to make it too easy that she's just going to sit on her bum and never exercise, and we do need her to exercise because sadly she's a bit overweight from a fairly sedentary lifestyle and we need her to move a bit, but also we then don't want the chimps who already live here having a life that's too easy for them to move and then them start putting on bellies. So it's just finding that happy medium between the rest of the group and the new arrival.
Sean won't have long to find out if they've struck the right balance. Chocolat will be arriving in just a few hours.
Beautiful.
It's been 2 weeks since 9-year-old female orangutan Mimi moved from the nursery to Tuan's adult group. In that time, she's developed a good relationship with adult females Lucky and Ame. But before the whole group can come together as one, Mimi has to experience the large outdoor enclosure. It's a huge space, and very different to what she was used to at the nursery.
It's going to be the biggest space that she's really seen, and really different for her. She's going to have a new perspective on everything, but she's also going to be able to see across to her old nursery enclosure as well. So there's lots of things to take into consideration for her.
Donna puts out some extra breakfast of tempting chopped apple. So far, the young orangutan has only had access to the outdoor tunnel system. But today, accompanied by Ame and Lucky, who hopefully will show her the ropes, she'll be free to roam the enclosure. Mimi has a lot to learn, particularly when it comes to the electric fence surrounding the enclosure, a deterrent that gives out a harmless shock to stop primates climbing the fencing.
We have dialed it down a bit, so if and when she does touch it, she's not going to get as big a shock, but hopefully it will be enough not to sort of put her off not touching it again. We need to make sure that she's not staying outside, she's comfortable going back in and out of the house, she's not hiding away in a corner. And we also want to see her interacting with Lucky and with Arme and going in and out of the house, eating, showing all of those signs that she's nice and comfortable.
Donna opens the slide to let the trio out. Arme is first to appear, heading straight for the feeders. A curious Mimi follows her lead, making her way along the tunnel. But then... Mimi inadvertently grabs hold of the electric fence, and rather than letting go, climbs higher. The resulting small shocks are enough to send her scurrying back indoors.
Her automatic reaction is to climb up the chain link, which is what she would do at the nursery. But by doing that, she climbed up the electric fence and obviously got a bit of a shock, which she wasn't too happy with. But actually, she's gone straight back in the house rather than running into the enclosure, which is kind of a good thing.
Lucky, now outside, goes back towards the house to encourage Mimi out again. Arme is also on hand if needed. A brave Mimi follows Lucky down the tunnel, but she can't resist testing out the electric fence again and gets a small shock. Confused, she heads back to the bedrooms to sulk. It doesn't look like she wants to try again today.
Maybe it was just her establishing what part of the fence it was that is electrocuted, but it's definitely put her off going outside. She's now nested back down inside again. So we're going to call it for today. She's experienced going out and seeing the electric fence. So we're going to shut her in and then give the other guys in the group the opportunity to go outside in the sunshine.
With Mimi bedded down for the day, the team will try again tomorrow, when hopefully the young orangutan will have learned her lesson and make it safely out into the enclosure. Over the last few weeks, the woolly monkey team have been busy reorganising, moving some of their charges from one troop to another and swapping entire groups between houses.
3 out of the 4 groups were affected by this move, so it's been a big change, and we've created now 2 groups of 5 and a group of 7, all mixed-sex groups.
The only group not affected is Lavar's troop of 10. They're a happy, close-knit unit, get on well together, and are experts at raising their young. The 2 groups who did undergo a big change were Chippy's and Manny's, who swapped house and enclosure. Chippy's troop gained a new housemate in the process when Cassius joined them. It means the park now has 2 groups containing only adult woollies.
So this is the first time in a long while that we've had 2 adult groups of woolly monkeys with no youngsters in there. So now the cafe group and the barn group, they're all adults now. So we don't see as much playing as we do in the groups when they've got babies and youngsters. And that's just because they've grown up. There is still a bit of grooming, but it's not the same as if you see Chippy's group and Lavar's group that have got those young kids in that are playing and wrestling all the time. It's very different behaviours we see.
Chippy's troop are loving the additional space in their wonderful natural outdoor enclosure, enjoying the extra room for play and fun. There are now 7 individuals in the group. Along with Chippy is his second-in-command, Zavi. Female Ava and her 2 children, Catalina and Zena. And they've been joined by Enya and Esme. The 2 young females have been readily accepted into the fold. Moving and swapping individuals and groups is something the primate care staff do every so often to maintain harmony amongst the woolly monkeys. A lot of thought and planning goes into the operation, and it's rewarding when it all pays off.
All the moves are done, everyone's been together for a little while now, and certainly some of the issues we were seeing before have resolved. There may, obviously, in time be more issues, but that's working with animals, that happens. So we just need to obviously keep a very close monitoring on all of our groups, as we do anyway. But yeah, currently at the moment, touch wood, everyone is in a group they seem very settled in and content in.
It's day 2 for the primate care staff in their attempt to entice orangutan Mimi to step outside into Tuan's large outdoor enclosure. Yesterday, a small shock from the electric fence sent the young orangutan scurrying back indoors, where she remained for the rest of the day. This morning, primate care staff member Lee is checking the fence to make sure all is safe for Mimi when she ventures out again.
I'm just making sure there's no damage being done from her climbing and pulling on them. The enclosure's been checked. Fence here where she was is fine, so yeah, ready to go again.
Like yesterday, Ame and Lucky will be there to keep Mimi company, offer support, and help her overcome her fears.
They're really used to it, so hopefully if she watches them and sees how they move around and realises it's not a big deal and that they're not panicking or upset about anything, then hopefully she'll figure it out and yeah, she'll be able to go out in the sunshine today. Good morning, ladies.
Katie opens up the slide and the 2 older females quickly head through, eager to see what's for breakfast. But there's no sign of Mimi. Katie goes back to the house to see where she is.
Right, hello, princess.
Yesterday's misadventure is still fresh, and it seems to be keeping Mimi indoors.
I'm going to go offer her some juice outside, see if she wants to come at least sit in the tunnel and have a look around. Do you want to come outside?
Katie hopes the offer of juice will persuade the young orangutan to at least sit near the entrance to the enclosure.
Want some?
Oh, May, you come in.
To give Mimi some extra encouragement, Lise cuts some fresh browse and throws it into the enclosure. Lucky is already tucking in.
You're thinking about it, aren't you?
She is.
Mimi is starting to regain her nerve.
She keeps going right up to the end of the tunnel now, so yeah, hopefully it won't be much longer. She's definitely showing a lot of interest.
She's clearly tempted by the lure of the enclosure. Then she summons up the courage.
Oh, good girl. Very brave.
And just like that, she's off. Heading straight for the climbing frames.
Yeah, it's exciting. And she's gone out really nicely and calmly. She's gone straight to the climbing frame, which is much better.
It's very different to her former home at the nursery, but she's undaunted, climbing and exploring everywhere. It's a success for the primate care staff whose patience has paid off and means Tuan's group can come back together in the hope their extra member will help them reintegrate and bond. Following a 5-hour journey from East Midlands Airport, the van bringing chimpanzee Chocolat to her new life in Dorset has arrived at the park. The primate care staff who'll be taking care of her are excited to get their first glimpse of their new charge. And Alison is on hand too.
Hi, you.
Chocolat has been accompanied all the way from Kenya by animal director Jeremy, along with Monica, who has cared for Chocolat for more than 10 years and will help her settle in. Chocolat has been in her transport crate for more than 24 hours, and the team are keen to let her out. She's going to live in Brian's house with his group of 6, and will be taken to a specially prepared bedroom there. Alison wants to show Monica Chocolat's new home.
I'm so happy to see Chocolat and Monica here. It's been, almost 10 years in the making.
Planning, replanning.
Yeah, Graziella and Monica have looked after her for all of these years, but you know, she's a chimp. She needs other chimps, and she potentially can live for another 20 to 25 years. So the next big step, I mean, I've been feeling sick on this transport to get her here well and safely. But now the whole next chapter begins getting her in with Brian and all of his lot.
As the large crate is manoeuvred carefully into position, there are plenty of interested onlookers outside in the tunnels.
Right now, Chocolat's shouting the house down because she's obviously very nervous. She's in a brand new setting and there's a lot of other chimps making a lot of noise at her. We're just basically trying to set it up so that we can get her into the house safely. But while we're doing that, she's getting a bit more agitated, so hopefully that's done quickly and then we get her inside and try and calm her down a bit.
The crate is designed to marry up to an entrance on the chimpanzee house leading directly into the bedrooms. Everything is set. Chocolat gets a few words of encouragement.
Hey, Chocolat!
Before Jeremy opens up the crate to allow her to move through.
Good girl! Come on, madam!
Despite her disabilities and being inside the travel box for more than 24 hours, the female chimp is eager to explore her new home.
What are you thinking? Excellent. Excellent, good girl. She needs to stand up, but her legs must be stiff from sitting so long.
A curious Chocolat moves at a shuffle, navigating her way from one room to the next. And as the stiffness in her joints and limbs eases up, she becomes more and more inquisitive and adventurous.
Okay, she can hop right up onto that shelf.
Dad, she's so much more than I was expecting, agile, able, and it's such a relief.
I'm impressed that she moved through and is reasonably confident moving through the house. And that's after sat cramped up in the box for so long.
So far, so good. Over the coming days, Chocolat will have the chance to get used to her new home and her new life. Her next challenge will be to meet some of Brian's group and make friends.
Clearly she's disabled. I mean, we're not saying she hasn't got issues. Of course she's got issues. She's got very serious issues. But I think she's a lot more capable than I was expecting. And I think 99% of that is her attitude, which is great. She is a survivor.
It should serve her well as she acclimatises to her new life and begins to integrate into a chimp family for the first time since she was snatched from her mother all those years ago.